It is, of course, the final day of the Republican National Convention. We've been saying how Donald Trump is going to be taking center stage, and all eyes are going to be on the GOP tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's going to be his moment truly in the spotlight for the nation this evening. Tonight's theme is Make America One Again. But can Donald Trump pull it off? Our Gordon Dill is the only local TV reporter in Cleveland. He's standing by live, and he has the answer to that important question. Good evening, Gordon.
Good evening to both of you. You know what? It is going to be a challenge to bring everybody together here. The fact of the matter is the overwhelming majority of people who will be in this arena are passionate supporters of Donald Trump, but there are some holdouts, and frankly, the goal of this whole convention is to win in November for the Republican Party, and if they're going to do that, they've got to bring a whole lot more people into the fold. The fault lines within the party had this arena shaking Wednesday night. Ted Cruz, the last GOP candidate with any shot at stopping Trump in the primaries, who Trump called Lion Ted, took the stage in prime time, and the two sides did not make nice.
Stand and speak and vote your conscience. Vote for candidates up and down the ticket who you trust to defend our freedom.
Instead of a Trump endorsement, Cruz telling voters to vote your conscience, the same words that were a battle cry for this convention's Never Trump movement. And some of those holdout delegates still aren't ready for Trump.
Well, I don't have any Trump pins on yet, so it's going to take a little bit of time.
Really, that's a small percentage of the delegates here. In South Carolina's delegation, most of the Cruz, Bush, and Rubio backers have joined Team Trump and appear ready to help him win in November. But watch in the background here as we interview State Party Chairman Matt Moore. That's an alternate South Carolina delegate trying to get your attention with this sticker. And Make America One Again faces another serious hurdle. The delegation says it's working hard to reach voters of all races and religions and believe they can bring new voters into the GOP tent. Glenn McCall from Rock Hill is vice chairman of this convention.
I believe African American males, Hispanic males, those that really like his entrepreneur spirit and what he has been able to achieve, want to emulate him. So as a result, I think he will get the largest share of African American votes, for example, in modern times.
I got that Trump that is.
But Terry Jones, who is here in Cleveland cashing in on the Trump campaign, has a different view.
He's here to show you what not to be. Yeah, he got the money, but he's not right in the mind. Something's wrong with him. A little quieter in here now that the band led by G.E. Smith, who you know from Saturday Night Live, has finished their run through. Look, Trump's going to have thousands of supporters here in this arena. He has millions around the country. But again, to bring all those other supporters into his campaign, that speech tonight is absolutely critical. It will be interesting also, we mentioned Ted Cruz in that story, interesting to see if he does respond to Cruz's statements in his presentation tonight and to what extent he actually sticks to the script. His prompter's right here. We can see it. It'll be interesting to see if he goes off script at any point. We're going to talk a lot more about Donald Trump's presentation from the stage tonight in the second half hour of this newscast. For now, from Cleveland, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Gordon. Well, it is an event more than a year in the making, but even with all the planning beforehand, it's all the little details, the last minute, that are still occupying a lot of people's time. 7 News national correspondent Mark Meredith is continuing our team coverage tonight from the convention floor with a preview of what you can expect to see tonight.
It has been a long, hard-fought campaign season, and tonight, though, it's time for a party. Donald Trump will be speaking where you see those workers on the stage right now, putting the finishing touches on a podium, as well as an event unlike any other that we've seen in recent memory. Will Donald Trump be speaking off the cuff, speaking what comes into his mind, or will he do what most nominees do, reading off the teleprompter where you can see the black and white lettering right there, where he'll have a good chance to see and speak to the American people? If you had an idea of what we can expect, well, nobody quite knows, except for one thing. There will be balloons. Thousands of them. You can see that they are ready to go on top of this Quicken Loans Arena here in Cleveland, and they will be coming down to right here where we are, where delegates from all 50 states will be watching. Millions of people will be watching on television, and this will be something that will be in the history books, to say the least. We'll have coverage day, night, and right back here tomorrow morning. But for now, reporting from Cleveland, I'm Mark Meredith.